Okay, so hi everyone. I decided to do a get ready with me. That seems to be like all the rage now for a while. Um, so the topic that I've kind of chose to speak about today is moving forwards in anything and embracing change. So I've just put on some UV protection. So it's been a while since I've been on this channel. A lot of things have developed and happened. Now I kind of feel like I'm at a stage where I actually want to come on this platform and start sharing. So I just thought I might as well do it in a way that kind of feels a bit more comfortable to me and just do it in my own way. So I'm just looking at my mirror. I'm going to start with my eyebrows. So about embracing change. So what I have learned about embracing change is that nothing is nothing goes in a straight line. It's kind of going like this constantly, and you have to learn to adapt to change. And depending on where you're coming from and what your mindset is, it can either be very difficult to adjust to change or very easy, based on like how you're viewing the change and how much you want the change or don't want the change. So for me, having to adjust to change, especially in this last few months, nothing to do with what's been going on in the world, i.e. lockdown and all of that. It's just been more so um it's been more so uh embracing the change within myself and in the things that I want to do. So obviously one of the things that I want to do is start sharing on YouTube. So the the procrastination that I have been doing hasn't been helping me, even though I've been quite consistent in a few things in my life. But when it's actually come to social media and sharing, I haven't been the best at that. I was all right before, but then I had to adjust to change because I was on Facebook for a while, and then adjust to change with that not really suiting where I wanted to move forward in my life, and kind of seeing that okay, YouTube is really what I want to do, hence all the old videos that I had. I think they might be on private now. I think I might unprivate them so you can see that I was sharing before and then I stopped, based on personal circumstances, personal struggles, that type of thing. So what I've learned with change and moving forward is obviously that change is inevitable, and it's how you learn to adjust to that change and how well you can make it benefit you. Excuse me if you can hear anything in the background. I've got some people back there. So yeah, adjusting to those changes, and then now I'm kind of at a stage in my life where there's starting a business and moving into that unknown territory. That's kind of where I am. So it's just time to kind of just bite the bullet and be like, you know what? The best thing for me to do is just approach it in the way that I want to, forget everybody else and just do whatever it is that I want to do, however I want to do it. So you see that? Yeah, that's okay. Right, so one of the things that has kind of helped me inadvertently is now how am I going to say this? Not my lack of, because I don't believe in lack. It's kind of everything kind of happens for a reason, but my whittling down of friendships. And over the time, I'm an Aquarius, so I'm quite a detached person anyway. Uh, so when it comes to that type of thing, it's kind of like, oh well. Um, but then I realize, I kind of do a lot of self-analysis and, thinking and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, obviously all these things are happening for a reason. What's that reason? And what I actually came to was it's happening for a reason so that I can concentrate more totally and more fully on myself and my direction of where I need to go, which, has been kind of like a blessing, if you like. And then, as that happened, other things started to open up for me, like meeting other people, or meeting people whose lives I wanted to aspire to have, successful people, people with a lot of knowledge on things that I wanted to learn about. So those types of things happened as I'm learning to adjust to this change. And in the beginning, I was like, oh, in a very unsure place. But I always had past past experiences with friends that that kind of just always made me know that regardless of whatever's going on or whatever's happening at this moment in time, that doesn't mean that um that's it. There's more to come, and there's more to come, but certain people have to get left behind, or you need to detach away from certain people so that you can move forward and do whatever it is that you want to do in your life. So I always, in the back of my mind, knew that. So it's just kind of like adjusting to that change, and then seeing how times and things change, and how you move into a new phase in your life. And that's kind of where I feel that I am at the minute. Hence me doing this Get Ready With Me. Now, I'm not trying to do any kind of editing for this particular video. Maybe moving forwards I will, but for now I'm just going to leave it as it is and just put it out there. So yeah, moving forward and then approaching this new area in my life, I realised that the changes that happened prior to this had to happen in order for me to get to a certain place inside myself, if that makes sense. So it's just kind of like embracing change and not really feeling scared of it. That's the thing that I'm kind of taking away from this, is that change is to be embraced, no matter how scary or um how scary or how uncertain it is. But change is certain, and it's just about how you view it and how you adjust to it. So I think I might just use this channel as like a running diary, or a living diary. My original plan was to have it as a living diary, so that any grandchildren or future great grandchildren could find me and see me and kind of get to know me in that way, and that and kind of use the internet for those types of purposes. So yeah, change is inevitable, and it's always how we adjust to those changes, and also, as I'm seeing, how we view them also. Mom. Yeah, so just embracing that change. Your mindset is everything. Everything I'm seeing is also like a mental uh a mental exercise really on how you feel or how you're going to move forward depending on whatever change is going on in your life. Now, take for instance the whole lockdown situation. How I felt in the lockdown situation was actually really good. As I said before, I'm an Aquarius, so a detached person anyway. So I like to spend a lot of time by myself. So so yeah, lockdown for me was really good. I actually learned so much about myself throughout lockdown. One of them being, sorry if you can hear, one of them being that I love trees. I knew that I loved trees, but I was actually going out every morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning, to go and walk because where I live, there's a tree trail. So that's where I was walking to. And when I was at this tree trail, I found a tree. I can't remember the exact name of the tree. I'll try and remember. And it was an enchanted tree. Well, it seemed like an enchanted tree to me because it grew out of the ground, and its branches went over like this, which I thought was absolutely amazing. I have never seen anything like that before. So I also kind of learned that by being out in nature was also helping my mental health. You know, regardless of what was going on in the world, I personally felt fine and okay. Sorry, my my eyeliner's running out. I need to get a new one. I'll get a new one this week. Yeah, so that's what I kind of found. And yes, I did see a few other people struggling with that particular change, but I kind of knew that when things or obstacles happen in your life, it's also about how you are going to adjust to that change and not allow it to affect you in a negative manner. So that was a very eye-opening situation for me. Oh, there's still a line there. So yeah, that's what's happened. I mean, at the minute, yes, there's still restrictions, not like how it was before. We've kind of got a curfew where we live at the minute, so just about adjusting to that change. Most of what I've got to do anyway is before 10 p.m. So I'm not really out after that time anyway. So yeah, change again. And it's how we adjust to that change. So in regards to um you know me sharing on YouTube, it's about me adjusting to that change now. you know it I had to get over the procrastination because I've made many a note. I've made many notes. I've brainstormed. I've done lots of different things, and I still wasn't doing it. Like, I still wasn't taking that last action and pressing record on my phone. I even got a new phone because that's what I decided that I was going to film on until whenever, and I still wasn't doing it until today. So I just thought, you can't let 2020 leave you without seeing that, okay, regardless of the changes that have happened throughout this year, coming out of this year, what did you learn? What kind of things have kind of helped you um uh see yourself differently, learn about yourself. I mean, put it in the comments about the different things that you learned about yourself in 2020, and we can get a nice dialogue going. um so yeah, um that's kind of how I felt during lockdown. And then obviously with the YouTube and everything, yeah, it's just about, you know what, just get it done. Just get it done, put it out there, and then move forward and get on with the next thing. I mean, You know, it's always about that initial step. I hear so many people talking about, you know, it's just about making that initial step and then just keep going from there, not looking left, not looking right, and just doing whatever it is that you want to do. So that's where I am at the minute. So I thought that I'd just come on, talk about those things while I'm getting my makeup done, and move on to the next thing that I'm going to do. So, speaking of the next thing, so I actually like fitness. I should do a whole story time as to how I got into fitness. I mean, I've always kind of been on it, but there was a significant life event that happened to me, um, that I had to overcome, and in through overcoming that life event, um, pushed me into uh, fitness, and how fitness has changed my life. You know, changed my mental health. It's changed my physical health. It's, you know, changed a lot of things, how I view my body, spiritually, everything. Fitness has played a massive role for me. So that is one of the things that I would also like to share. Um, um, I'm doing just doing my eyelashes at the minute, just putting some glue on my eyelashes. Cause we like eyelashes, right? um. So yeah, significantly propelled me into fitness, and you know, moved me into a new space in my life, of how I view myself moving forwards, and how much I see that taking care of your body, taking care of your mental health, number one, is paramount in how you live your life and how you even view your life. You know, so those are the that's another thing that I would actually really like to share. So let me know if you want to um, learn about those things with me. Well, I'll be sharing it anyway. So isn't it always a hassle? A hassle putting these lashes on. I think I just put them on a bit too quickly because the glue. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. So yeah. Right, that's gonna dry clear anyway. There. Okay. That'll dry clear, my darling. Yeah, I'm only doing like one shade of eyeshadow today. So, right, next I'm going to do my foundation. So yeah, let me know if anybody likes fitness, has yeah, who likes fitness. And also with the lockdown, did you learn anything about yourself? Did you learn anything about others? I mean, that's another thing as well. I did learn a lot of things about others, also about how they how they view things, how they think about things. You know what I mean? And um, some of those things were also eye opening for me. Like, okay, then, you know, I'm seeing that, you know, people view things a lot different to how I view them. You know, it's that was a bit eye opening as well. I also saw that, you know, um, a lot of people don't want to look within. That's one thing that's always baffled me, is that, you know, people have issues and problems in doing any kind of self-analysis within themselves, how they're coming across, and can actually kind of seem quite selfish. Yeah, it's good to be selfish at times, but you know, sometimes it can just be a bit much. So, yeah. And with change, it's just about embracing it, embracing the change, and moving through it the best way you can. Because if you don't, it's gonna change anyway. You can tell that I listen to a lot of YouTube, right? A lot of YouTube, right? Um, yeah, just kind of just particular channels. So yeah. And also as well, within lockdown, did any of you um, you know, have any opportunities come up? Did you view the internet differently, because that was kind of the only way that we could kind of communicate with one another? Not really, but you know, and feel more comfortable about being in your own surroundings. Let me know what lockdown was like for you all. I don't know, and I don't know if, you know, lockdown is continuing for everyone. So let me know, you know, what your city or your country is doing at this moment and how you feel about it. That'll be a nice discussion to have. Right, so this nearly done. I might have to do up here again when I take my scarf off, because you know we're gonna have a little bit of um discoloration, or not even discoloration, just no makeup up there. So yeah. Okay, so where's my powder? So yeah, so with the friend situation, oh yeah, going back to that. I had I'm a type of person who views friendship a lot different to how other people view it. I've always known that from uh secondary school. I don't know what Americans would call it, maybe high school, maybe. When you're like 13, 14, where are you there? High school? I don't know. Uh, yeah, I just knew that I kind of viewed it different because of how I would see certain people deal with friendships, not in the particular way that I would. So that's kind of how I knew that, all right then, I'm taking this real serious. We friends, Pamela. That's what we are. You ain't going nowhere. You know, that's kind of how I view it. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't, you know, like obsessive or anything like that. It was just like, I accept you for who you are. I can see that you accept me for who I am, and we're just gonna be friends. It was kind of like, that's how I kind of viewed it. Anyway, fast forwarding to, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year around this time. Funnily enough, um, I had a friend, and we was together every day. We was together every day, and this came at a time, and we was friends for about 2 years. And she came around in my life where I didn't have any friends again. Oh yeah, I was going through another change of never having any friends again, because what was the reason why I never had no friends again? Oh yeah, uh, there was a change going on, and the friend that I had, she was just upset with how much my life was changing and her life wasn't. So she just stopped speaking to me. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, so this other friend that I had, met her, and we kind of hit it off. really hit it off. Like, I was just like, wow, thank God. I got another one like me. So we was, together every day mostly, and we had so much fun. We had a lot of fun. Excuse me, we had a lot of fun, and I was learning about one another, you know, uh, learning about one another, having a lot of fun. Having a lot of fun. She had, the same interests as me. We would go places, just enjoy ourselves. It was really good. But then it kind of got to a stage where I could see that she started to feel a bit uncomfortable with how much attention that I was getting from men and the things that they would do for me that maybe she hadn't had done for her in her life. She was, a bit older than I was, so, I was just like, okay, well, I didn't really I didn't really want to see it as anything at the time because, I accept you for who you are, but she wasn't really accepting me for who I was, and I found that a bit difficult. So I was a bit like, oh. So something happened where, I kind of told her, I was just sharing stuff like, oh, this has happened. And she made a comment that was just a bit like, oh God, looks like we can't be friends again, because she didn't want something good to happen for me. Excuse me, a bit sniffly. She didn't want anything good to happen for me. So I was a bit like, oh my God, this friendship does have to end, because if I don't end it, this is just gonna keep going, and she's gonna, begin to feel like she can say those things and me not say anything. So I didn't end up actually saying anything to her. She kind of just drifted off herself, like just stopped talking to me again. Sorry. Start talking to me again. So in a way, I was a bit relieved that I didn't have to say anything to her. But then I was a bit like, oh, you gonna stop talking to me? But then obviously I know why anyway. So and then just kind of like adapting to that change. So but then I realised probably like a few months later that it was because I was going through a change. Yeah, she was going through a change too, but based on, the things that I could see that I was doing and maybe she wasn't, it was causing the divide to happen. So, I wasn't heartbroken or anything. Don't get me wrong. Like I'll never be heartbroken over no friendship. Never. I've had a lot of friendships with a lot of women or girls, and they all, they all begin to view me differently when my life seems to start, moving in a different direction to theirs. Let's just say that. So that's what, this past relationship or this past friendship, that's kind of how I've seen it. Like, all right, then I'm clearly going through a change, and she's going through a change too. Don't get me wrong, because everybody's got their cycles and everybody goes through their own changes too. So so yeah, this is the change that I'm going through, and I'm here to share it with YouTube. Nobody told me how good Fix Plus was until maybe like 2 months ago. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. How come nobody told me? So yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm not Billy No Mates. I've got one friend, and I think that's kind of all I need to kind of have. Let's have a look what's going on up here. So yeah, that's what kind of happened. I don't know where my comb is. Yeah, so that's my get ready with me, everyone. And I will be back with another video. I don't know what it's gonna be. What more than likely it's probably gonna be on my other channel, on my fitness channel. So I'll probably link that below somewhere. So yeah, thank you for watching, everyone.